Hello everyone, welcome back. We're going to be doing a faith planning video today. We are going to be in our Tony Evans Study Bible and we're going to be in Nehemiah 1. So here we see that the news about Jerusalem reaches Nehemiah. And basically the Jerusalem wall is broken and Nehemiah goes into prayer here. So let's read this part. When I heard these words, I sat down and I wept. I mourned for the number of days, fasting and praying before the God of the heavens. I said, Lord, the God of the heavens, the great and awe-inspiring God who kept his gracious covenant with those who love him and keep his commands. Let your eyes be open and your ears be attentive to hear your servant's prayer, that now that I have prayed to you day and night for your servants and the Israelites, I confess the sins we have committed against you. Both I and my father's families have sinned. We have acted corruptly toward you and have not kept the commandments, statutes, and ordinances you gave your servant Moses. Please remember that you commanded your servant Moses, if you are unfaithful, I will scatter you among the peoples. But if you return to me and carefully observe my commandments, even though your exiles were banished to the furthest horizon, I will gather them from there and bring them to the place where I choose to have my name dwell. They are your servants and your people, and you redeemed them by your great power and strong hand. Please, Lord, let your ear be attentive to the prayer of your servant, and that your servants who delight to revere your name, give your servant success today and grant him compassion in the presence of this man at the time I was the king's cupbearer. So in our faith planner, we wrote down that we read Nehemiah 1 through 11, but we really just read Nehemiah's prayer. And down here, we wrote two observations. The first observation is that we see Nehemiah put himself in Israel's sin problem. And basically this just means that Nehemiah recognizes that his sins were part of the problem too. It wasn't just Israel's sins. It wasn't just the Israelite sins. No, it was his sins too. So that's one observation that we notice. And then the second observation we notice is we also see him magnify God and not the problem. So in his prayer, he's not just talking about the problem or what has happened in Jerusalem or any of that. He magnifies God and his promises and who God is in his prayer. That's what a lot of his prayer is instead of the problem. So for application, I put down that we need to pray powerfully according to the promises of God and according to who he is and what he has done, rather than who we are and what we've sinned and what sins we have committed. When this occurs, we will grow in faith and we're open to God's blessings. And basically, I just wrote down how to follow Nehemiah's prayer. Remind yourself of the goodness of God, confess sin, remember the Lord's promises, and ask to be heard and given success and mercy. And that was basically Nehemiah's prayer. That's the template that he followed. And I think this is something that we can follow too in our daily prayer lives in order to receive God's blessing or hear his word.